Leylah Fernandez has now revealed the mid-match advice she received from her coach, which helped her to knock Jessica Pegula out of the Washington Open. It was an inspired, battling performance from a Canadian, who had to overcome a solid fight back from her opponent after taking the first set. Conceding the second set, the 22-year-old would have been justified had she struggled to regain her momentum for the decider. However, she did anything but, showcasing her grit to grind out a 6-3, 1-6, 7-5 win. Fernandez deserves so much credit for dumping out the top seed to reach the quarterfinals, but so does her coach for the advice offered mid-match. Leylah Fernandez reveals her coach's mid-match advice. Asked by reporters how she managed the various shifts in momentum, particularly in the second and third sets, Fernandez started by stating, "It wasn't really tactically. I mean, Jessie, she kind of took advantage of the points, so some double faults. I think I did an average of 2 double faults per game, so that didn't really help. Second serve, she just took advantage. She was like a dog in a bone, I would say. I mean, it's sports, so she saw an opening. She went for it, and I started kind of pushing the ball, not being as aggressive or offensive as I was in the first set and in the beginning of the second. At the end of the second set, my dad just told me, my coach just told me, to let a couple ones go. You're already using it. So I was just glad I was able to do that. The third set, I was able to kind of change my mentality into a more positive mindset." She then touched on her performance as a whole, continuing, "Yes, very pleased with how I played, how I competed. That's the most important thing. There was definitely a moment where the momentum changed, and I think I was getting a little too frustrated. So not only the crowd was there, but also my coach was there to kind of keep me positive, especially in the third set. I'm just glad that worked out, and we just gotta keep going with this good groove." Leylah Fernandez and Emma Raducanu continue to mirror one another. Fernandez and Emma Raducanu's careers will seemingly forever be linked, given the manner in which they met in the 2021 U.S. Open final. Pitting two teenagers against one another for a major title, it was the Brit who came out on top, but has failed to kick on following that. Alas, the Canadian has hardly enjoyed success herself, with both of these youngsters likely having struggled under the weight of the pressure that their Grand Slam final brought. She does have 3 WTA titles, but is yet to enjoy another major run, like that 2021 fairy tale. The irony of their shared performance at the Washington Open is that, upon reaching this stage, they are into the quarterfinals of the same hardcourt tournament for the first time since the 2021 U.S. Open. Raducanu has just beaten Naomi Osaka in their first ever meeting to reach that stage, with both snagging scalps to get where they are. The turning point, a match transformed by a few simple words. The scoreboard read 6-3, 1-6, 7-5, but the real drama was felt within the 9th game of the deciding set. The top seed, Jessica Pegula, stormed back in the second set, nearly snuffing out Fernandez's momentum. The shift felt inevitable, or so it seemed. Enter her coach, a steady presence on the sideline. As Leylah wiped the sweat from her face at the changeover, he leaned in and offered not a tactical schematic, but something more elemental. Stay positive. Think of something positive. Switch the mentality. That phrase, simple yet electrifying, reignited her mindset and turned the tide of the match. Wikipedia, +9. PFSN, +9. Tennis Head, +9. Glowing Star, what did those words really mean? 1. Letting go of frustration. The second set had slipped from her control. Her double faults mounted. Her intensity faltered. According to Fernandez, her coach urged her to let a couple ones go. You're already using it. This wasn't about strategy. It was about freedom. It was permission to release tension and stop overthinking. Here, on the WTA Tour stage, that mindset reset was everything. Tennis Head, tennis.com. 2. Resetting mentally. In the third set, as she described, I was able to change my mentality into a more positive mindset. That meant no dwelling on errors, no replaying what went wrong. Instead, visualizing success, trusting her shots, and embracing each point as a fresh start. Tennis Head, PFSN. 3. Staying in the moment. Not getting ahead to the finish line, not falling behind. Just breath and swing. In Fernandez's own words, There was definitely a moment where the momentum changed. I was getting a little too frustrated. My coach was there to kind of keep me positive. That presence anchored her, bringing clarity back to her game. Tennis head. Artist palette, a creative recreation, a mindset shift in real time. Scene imagined for dramatic effect. Third set 2-2. Fernandez wipes her brow, breath ragged. She craves momentum, but frustration simmers. Pegula has broken back. The coach leans in. His words cut through the tension. Forget the double faults. They're gone. Focus on one thing. Just one good serve, one confident rally. Think positive. You've done this before. He doesn't shout tactics. He doesn't diagram patterns. He offers something better. Reset. Fernandez exhales. She positions herself differently at the baseline, slightly crouched, feet alive. On the next point, she lets the ball come to her. She recovers well. Cross-court forehand finds a corner. She breathes again and plays the next rally as if the match had just begun. That mental pivot yields results. 2 games later, match point. Pegula's forehand clips the tape, drifts wide. The comeback is complete. Pushpin, why this advice mattered. From self-doubt to self-trust. It's one thing to know the game. It's another to trust your game when it's slipping. The advice returned Fernandez to her strengths. A coach's mental guide. More than strategy. This was emotional and mental support. The kind of message that travels beyond X's and O's. Momentum from within. In tennis, a swing of a few points can sway entire matches. Here, momentum was reclaimed through mindset. Magnifying glass tilted left. Match recap in brief. Scoreline, 6-3, 1-6, 7-5 in favor of Fernandez. A monumental upset over world number 4 Pegula. Tennis head, +5. PFSN, +5. Tennis Canada, +5. Women's Tennis Association, +7. Tennis.com, +7. Tennis Canada, +7. LakelandToday.ca, +1. PFSN, +1. The turning moment. At the start of the third set, she accepted her coach's mid-match advice and mentally reset, shifting from frustration to positive focus. Tennis head. Brain beyond tactics, the psychology of a slam-caliber mindset. Sports psychologists often emphasize the concept of intervention points, moments where athletes can consciously pivot their mental state. Fernandez's match embodied it. And the beauty of the coach's message is how universally applicable it was. A message about letting go, owning the